سلام بچه‌ها، خوش اومدید به چنل ما.
بچه امروز اومدیم یه دونه ویدیو جدید. چه ویدیویی؟
بچه امروز قرار بازی استنلی پارابل رو بازی کنیم که بچه برای ما جدید حساب میشه.
بچه این بازی بر روی تصمیمات ما بازی پیش میره جلو که ما یه دونه شخصیت رو کنترل میکنیم به نام استنلی که این بازی چند تا پایان مختلف داره که این راوی به ما میگه که کجا بریم.
بچه‌ها مثلا ما توی موقعیت قرار میگیریم که جلومون دوتا دره مثلا و راوی باز میگه که تو باید از در سمت راست بری، ولی بچه‌ها ما از در سمت چپ میریم و ماجرا کلا عوض میشه. پایاناش کلا عوض میشه بچه‌ها. پایان اصلی رو دیگه نمیریم. پایان‌های مختلف رو انجام میدیم که این بازی رو خیلی بچه‌ها جذاب می‌کنه.
خلاقانه است خیلی بازی به نظر من.
و بدون معطل بریم.
Let's go. خب بچه‌ها اومدیم تو ویدیو.
اینم بچه‌ها محیط بازی. بریم.
بریم.
بگین دیگه.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day, every month, of every year. And although others might have considered it soul Stanley relished every moment that he was there. Though he had been made exactly for this job, Stanley was happy.
استنلی میگه از کارش خوشحاله.
Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
حرکت کن.
الان نوبت ماست. گفت از اتاق بریم بیرون. شما گرافیکو بریم دیگه.
گرافیکش خوبه.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
میتینگ روم باید بریم فکر کنم.
مemo چیه؟ مemo. آجی اینجا رو در بازه.
خیلی باحاله.
و چون یه پایان دیگه است، یعنی یه راه دیگه است که میتونیم بریم.
آره.
ولی ما میخوایم اول پایان اصلیشو بریم.
اگه شد
اما پایان اولیش دیگه. در بسته شد.
چه جالب در بسته میشه.
در بستم.
همه رفتن یهو غیب شدن. آها دو در دیدی.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
پس برو راست.
آجی گفته بری چپ ولی بچه ما میتونیم بریم راست.
پس بریم.
و این پایین اصلیشه. اوکی بریم. شما اینجا این 413 مثلا 412 هیچ کی نیست میگه
همه غیب شد. بیرون حوصله نداشتن.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
استنلی میخواد بره upstairs بالا ولی بچه پایین نمیشه رفت.
پایین خطرناکه. قرمز بود. اینجا
کجا؟
اینجاست.
باس آفیس.
به اتاق رئیسش ماشاءالله. بث
اینجا
نمیدونم.
اتاقو ببین.
اینجا میتونیم بریم؟ نه نمیتونیم.
نه همینجاست. سقف.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
چه ربطی داره؟
نمیدونم یه لحظه عکس دیدم فکر کردم
تهران.
اینجا بسته است اونجاست. آسانسوره. نه خالی نیست علی بمیری.
مطمئنی؟
نه اوکی پس
الله.
پایینو بزن. بریم. بچه حتما ولاگ هم میذاریم براتون.
لودینگ دیدی؟
آره 1000 تا لودینگ بود.
بچه حمایت کنید دیگه.
بکنید آقا.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
نه گفت مایند کنترل فکسیلیتی برید.
میدونم ولی میتونی تو هم اسکیپ کنی.
بچه‌ها این رو هم میریم. بعد از این پایان. حالا بچه‌ها یه پایان دیگه‌ش هم میریم بعد از این.
آره. چراغا روشن کن علی آقا.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
برو ببین.
اینا چی هم؟ مانیتورن؟
تلویزیون آره دیگه. همشون تلویزیون بزرگ. الان فیلم پخش می‌کنم ببینی.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building. Stanley's co-workers, the lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
اینه ببینیم.
تو قطعاً که تو اتاقمون نیستیم الان.
نه الان ما
در حال حاضر و
نه نیستیم.
درست.
خب اینجا چیه؟
فایرد.
این اخراج شد.
بذار ببینیم چند نفر.
کارشون اون آبیه چیه؟ دیدی؟
مانیتورش خراب بود.
It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
نه نمیپره تو بچه تو این باز
نمیپره. No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible?
No.
Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
گفت آن کنیم یا آف کنیم خدا رحم کنه. وای بچه اینم یه پایین دیگه شه. ما میتونیم آف بزنیم یا آن بزنیم.
رو حرفت بمون.
اوکی بریم. خود شد
جامپ اسکیت نشد. جون من جامپ
بابا
اسکیت.
چه جامپ ترس. شد.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
آیا تموم شده؟
نه.
فکر کنم این پایین اصلیشه دیگه.
He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. The immense door slowly opened. Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the chamber? He realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin. The feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. He was happy.
استنلی باز هر
چشم دیگه
کور دارم میشم.
فلش بک شدیم داداش. خب یه پایین دیگه شو بریم به نظرم.
واسه بریم تمام.
آره تمام شد.
بریم یه دونه دیگه هم بریم تمام کنیم.
خب
ویدیو رو
مثلا اینجا بچه‌ها وایسیم چه تمام. مثلا راوی میگه خیلی وقت اینجا وایسادی
آره
برو.
احتمالاً بگه ولی شاید
آره
نگه.
میریم دیگه. بریم بچه‌ها اون در سمت راستی بود اونو بریم می‌خوایم بریم الان.
What could it
عالی
mean?
میشه.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
اوکی.
الان میریم اون در.
فهم.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew
That was not
perfectly
correct.
well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
نه آی جون میبینی کجاست دیگه؟ از اینجا بریم میریم همون راه اصلی دوباره.
میتینگ رومه.
آره دوباره میریم اصلی. پس از اینجا نمیریم. از اینجا
میریم. بود.
آره پس از اینجا میریم.
برو.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he
استنلی
wasn't
تو
5
راه
years
پیدا کردن
ago.
خیلی بده. داره عصبانی میشه حاجی.
الان میرن دهنم.
میتونی پایینم بریم.
چقدر زیاده. دکمه
Look,
نیست.
Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. Trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley.
واقعا
Someone
پایانش
you've
خیلی
forgotten
زیاده.
about.
این بازی رو خوب میکنه دیگه.
Stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley.
That's her, Stanley. فلش بنگ شدم. کور شدم.
What?
از کجا؟ یه راه هتله؟
زنشه. داداش ترسناک نیست.
من میترسم آخه جامپ اسکیت بشه.
Okay, there we go. All right, now I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife? She'd want to commit their life to you. I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really...
گفت از این در بریم ولی از اینجا میتونیم بریم.
حالا اینو برو.
Sorry, but you're in my story now.
میگه الان تو داستان من نمیذاره.
سلام خانومی.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
گفت Press J.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Why?
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do.
همون کارایی که تو
Now
اتاقمون
he's
داشتیم
pushing a
می‌کردیم و
button.
می‌کنیم.
Now
داریم
جا
he's
خیابانی.
eating lunch. Now he's
یه
going
داره.
home. Now he's coming back to
نزنیم
work.
دکمه اشتباه
One might
بزنیم.
even feel sorry
دیگه.
for him, except that he's chosen this life.
راه بریم آره.
نزن آروم نزن مثلا یو.
نه باید بزنیم فکر کنم.
But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
آره.
انشالله. J.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Z.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
L.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. Down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
The Stanley Parable اسم بازی رو گفت.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always... The more he forgets which life is the real one.
You to go to sleep.
And I'm trying to tell him this. That in this world he can never be anything but an observer. That as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. He won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it. You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
دیگه نمیشنوه منو انگار.
نه آخه ما نزنیم هیچ کاری اتفاق نمیافته که باید حتما اون دکمه رو بزنیم.
I suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose. The same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button.
Please die.
And I tried.
پارت دیگه‌شون بزنیم برای بعد. نمیخوام طولانی بشه ویدیو. یه دونه گیم ساده نمیخوام طولانی.
آره بچه اینم از این من واقعا لذت بردم.
من خیلی خوب
بازی جدیدی بود انصافا. تیکه آخرشو بچه‌ها دیده بودم تو یوتیوب که میره تو بیرون دیگه فرار میکنه.
راهش باز میشه.
بچه‌ها 100% پارتای دیگه‌شون میذاریم. اون یکی پایانشون بچه‌ها میریم و لایک کامنت سابسکرایب یادتون نره. حرفی نداری؟
نه دیگه حمایت کنید فقط همینو میتونم.
آره بچه‌ها حمایت کنید. ما بچه‌ها ویدیوهای بیشتری میذاریم. بچه‌ها واقعا گل میدیم. حمایت کنید میذاریم. حمایت هم نکنید میذاریم
بازم میذاریم. فقط حمایت کنید. اگه ما رو دوست دارید
فعالیتمون رو بیشتر میکنید.
100% با کیفیت بیشتر و تامنیل ادیت همه چی بهتر.
ممنون
دیگه.
و تا ویدیوهای بعدی
خداحافظ.